Hello, dear ones. Welcome to the Dream Lab, a safe, inspiring place for you and God to dream without limits what you most desire to be, do, and have in your life right now. Every episode, I hold space for you to be irreplaceably you, to explore your unique design and discover your dreams as a reflection of God's heart for the world around you. I am your host, your guide, your encourager-in-chief, Christina B. Come on in to the Dream Lab. Hello, my lovelies. Welcome back to another episode of the Dream Lab podcast. I'm your host, Christina B. Last session, your homework was to put each of your dreams on a clean sheet of paper and answer the following questions. What does your life look like when you have realized that dream? How would fulfilling this dream change your life and the lives of those around you? Describe in detail how realizing this dream will make you feel. And why is fulfilling this dream so important to your happiness and well-being? The purpose of answering these questions was to connect you to your dreams and your dreams to your heart, making it all very personal to you. The first part of the Dream Lab course is all inward focused. It's just you and God dreaming. Remember that Harvard Medical School study about the piano players that I mentioned in a very early episode? Well, your brain cannot tell the difference between reality and imagination. So seeing yourself living your dreams in your imagination produces changes in your brain, just like it did for the piano players in the study, and it produces sensations in your body as if that dream was already fulfilled. It's kind of like living your dreams, calling things that are not as though they are. The second part of the Dream Lab course is all focused outward. And I structured it like this on purpose because I wanted you first to be able to see yourself living your dreams in your mind's eye and feel the peace and excitement around that first before you take any action outwardly. So now is when we are going to start to break each dream down into manageable pieces for you so that you can begin taking baby steps. Small action steps every single day actually tricks your brain into thinking that your dreams are possible. And it keeps you moving forward. So when you're doing something like a tiny thing like Googling or maybe asking a friend a question, if you know your friend has expertise in a particular area that's related to one of your dreams, doing tiny things that are manageable keeps you out of overwhelm, and it makes your brain think, oh, this is totally doable. I can totally live my dreams. I can take that tiny baby step, and then I can take another tiny baby step. Do you guys remember that movie with Richard Dreyfuss and Bill Murray called What About Bob? There is a scene in the middle of that movie that is so funny. And part of your homework, I want you to go and find a clip on YouTube to watch this particular scene because it is hilarious. So there's a scene in there where the Richard Dreyfuss character, who's like a psychiatrist or a psychologist or something in the movie, gives Bob, who's the Bill Murray character, a book called Baby Steps. And Bob, the Bill Murray character, says, "Baby steps." And Dreyfuss says, "It means setting small, reasonable goals for yourself, one day at a time, one tiny step at a time." And then Bob says, "All I have to do is take one little step at a time, and I can do anything." Anyway, it gets funnier after that because then you hear the Richard Dreyfuss character shouting from his office, "Baby steps to the elevator, Bob," as the Bob character leaves his office and takes baby steps to get to the elevator. He struggled with like anxiety or something like that. Anyway. It's a funny scene. You got to go watch it. That is the entire point. You break it down into tiny steps that are not going to overwhelm you. And I want to tell you, you're already doing this in your life. You do this in your everyday life already. For example, let's just say you have a friend with a birthday coming up and you want to bake your friend a birthday cake. You are already in your mind thinking about the dozen or more steps that you have to do in order to make that happen. You might research 5-star cake recipes. You might watch a few YouTube cooking videos on how to make that particular recipe that you choose. You're going to print the recipe, make a shopping list, go to the grocery store. You're going to clean your kitchen, assemble your ingredients and utensils, preheat the oven, mix the batter, pour into the pans and bake, remove the cakes from the oven, turn the oven off, let the cakes cool, and then serve. You get the idea that I'm pointing at here is you already do this every day, just like getting up and getting ready for work. You're breaking down the whole, like, I need to leave for work at this time. You're breaking that process down into tiny manageable steps. Pursuing your dreams is no different. So you're going to apply the same step-by-step process towards your dreams. This is going to be a pretty short episode for right now, but your homework for this episode is put one dream at the top of a blank page in your notebook, and then I want you to do a massive brainstorm, do a big brain dump on that page of all of the baby steps that you can think of that you need to do for that dream. And then I want you to do the same thing with the other 4 dreams. If at any time in this process you begin to feel stress or anxiety, if you slipped into your analytical mind and you start like panicking, I want you to stop and I want you to do some deep breathing to regulate your central nervous system again. In some of the earlier episodes, we actually did some deep breathing at the beginning of the episode. So go back and listen to one of those if you want me to guide you through that. Or you can just make the deep breathing a part of your everyday practice, especially if you're going to be setting aside time in your schedule to pursue your dreams. It might be helpful to do the deep breathing first to keep yourself in a calm and peaceful state. Okay, so one previous Dream Lab participant in her little brainstorm of the next steps that were baby steps for her is she was a singer-songwriter and she wanted to take a songwriting class that was more related to commercials and TV shows. Like, how do you write and produce songs that get booked to be in commercials and TV shows? So her baby steps were Google a commercial songwriting class, look at several classes and pick the one that looks the best, contact the teacher, sign up for the class, and then put each class on her calendar, literally block off the time. So this particular participant, she took all of these baby steps in a pretty short period of time because when she did one, then it was pretty easy and like one thing just kind of led to another. What happened for her was she reached out to the teacher who was teaching this class, the one that she decided was a good fit for her, and said, "How much is your class?" And the teacher told her what the price was, which I don't remember. It's been so many years now. And she said, "Well, that's not in my budget. Could we work out some sort of trade? Can I help you in some way, like prepare for this class?" And the teacher, the person who was teaching this class said, "Yeah, absolutely. I'd love that." She got to go to the songwriting workshop. I don't remember how long it was, if it was like a whole weekend or if it took place over a number of weeks, but she got to go to the songwriting class. And then in the end, that teacher ended up getting my friend to help her structure the teaching modules for that songwriting workshop in a logical, methodical format that she ended up using to go on and like earn a lot of money teaching that class over the next number of years. And it was a win-win. Plus, my friend, the Dream Lab workshop participant, she got a lot of one-on-one time with this person to answer a lot of questions and like open some doors and give her advice. And then as a result of taking that songwriting class, she met another person there who was interested in the same goals, and they became a songwriting duo. They formed a little partnership. And then she ended up going on to some additional workshops from there. And so other doors opened for my friend from there, which had she not just taken the tiny little baby steps to get there in the first place, never would have opened for her. So I don't think she could have anticipated that it was going to unfold the exact way that it did. But all she did was started moving in the right direction, doing the next thing that she knew to do, and things unfolded from there. And so it's going to be the same for you. As you begin taking those little baby steps, that is when the beautiful synchronicities of life are going to show up for you. It's actually a really sweet process when you think about it. The additional part of your homework is after you do a brain dump for each dream, I want you to then look at your calendar for the week and I want you to block off your work days first. And you might already have some of this done on your calendar. Be sure to include your commute time, like especially if you have a long one and that adds time to your day, make sure you block off your commute time and your work day. Then I want you to block off family time activities such as dinner, like if you have dinner as a family together every night, bedtime routine if you have little kids. And the next thing I want you to look for is pockets of time that you could devote to your dreams. Block off those chunks of time and put them in a color that makes it really easy to see. When you take a glance at your weekly schedule, I want you to see a particular color, whatever they say, you choose yellow. Everywhere you see yellow, that is for you to pursue your dreams. And then once you've brainstormed a list of all of your baby steps for each dream, then I want you to for each of those dreams, prioritize that task list. What do you have to do first? Do you have to do them in a particular order like you would have to do if you were baking a cake? Or can they be done in any order? I'll let you determine what that order is, and then I actually want you to block off chunks of time to do each of those tasks. Like, literally put that task on your calendar. Now, you can go as small as 15-minute increments, or if you just wanna put, like, a chunk of 90 minutes of time on there, and that is for you to pursue, like, one dream, and then the next time you put, like, a chunk of time, like, say, an hour, and then that's for you to pursue dream number 2. I don't want you to get too hung up in the details. Do whatever works best for you, which is why I've suggested first, like, just blocking off chunks of time to pursue your dream and putting them in a particular color so that when you glance at your schedule, you automatically see, this is the time that I have devoted to pursuing my dreams. And then if you're not sure how long something is going to take you, like if you have to devote some time to, say, doing some research and learning about a particular subject, just set a timer. Just, block off a whole 30, 40 minutes, whatever it is, and put it on your calendar. And then once you set the timer, just dive in and see how far you get. And if you need to block off more time, you can, or you might finish and find that you can move on to the next task. So, and then the other thing is, I want you to consider, who in your life could you enlist support from if necessary? Like, do you have some friends in your life who are really supportive? They know you and they love your soul and would absolutely be delighted to help you pursue your dreams. I want you to consider enlisting their support as needed. Like, if you need, hey, can you babysit my kids for a couple hours while I go do some things? Or if you just need to, say, hey, I need some encouragement today. Can you keep, asking me how things are going so that I have a little bit of accountability? Whatever that looks like for you, it doesn't matter. But I just want you to be mindful that you're not going to be able to do this alone. You really do need to have people around you who are supportive and encouraging. And the last part of your homework is, I want you to remember to take a lot of time to rest and relax. We have narrowed down your list to the top 5 dreams because you only have a finite amount of time in a given week to devote to this. And living your dreams should be a joyful process. It shouldn't feel like a heavy burden. Let's see. What is the next part of your homework? Oh, the next part of your homework is review your dream card daily. And when you are faced with a choice, choose in favor of your dreams. It may not unfold exactly like you think it will, and that's okay. As you move forward with baby steps, I promise you, it is going to make room for those beautiful coincidences and those unexpected opportunities and open doors that you could not possibly have anticipated. And that is what is going to really, I think, float your boat, so to speak, when you're pursuing your dreams. Until next time, dreamers, bye for now.